Over the last 7 years, Peterman Brothers has worked diligently to capitalize on the need for consumer financing. We vetted 5 nationwide service finance companies looking for a partner that could grow with us and keep up with our demand for top-notch support and an evolving customer offering. GoodLeap has crushed it. Not only does GoodLeap help us help our customers get the services they need, profits of this partnership have been quite substantial to help us grow our business. We have seen an immense drop in our financing fees and as a result are collecting higher margin on each and every job. GoodLeap, the best financing solution for home services and the trades. Hands down. Hey, Chad Peterman here, your host of the Can't Stop the Growth podcast, a show that advances the home services industry and beyond. In this exclusive series, I've joined forces with Camp Digital to bring you powerful learnings that advance you and your business in the realm of all things marketing. Together, we bring content that empowers you to build a positive, healthy workplace for you, your people, and your bottom line. So let me officially pass the mic to Camp Digital for today's episode, chock full of insights that you can take and apply to your growth. Now listen and grow.
At Camp Digital, we know that staying competitive is paramount. Whether you're a seasoned business owner or just starting out, this series provides you with the tools and knowledge to prepare and advance your home service business to thrive in this dynamic landscape.
Today, we're joined by Nancy O'Hare Zika, owner and president of Yellow Dog Creative. Together, we explore the power of video marketing for home service businesses and uncover effective strategies to enhance brand visibility and engagement. Get ready to discover how video can revolutionize your marketing approach as we dive into this dynamic discussion. Well, today I have the pleasure of sitting down with my good friend Nancy from Yellow Dog Creative. Nancy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be here.
So tell me what you do, Nancy.
So I am the owner of Yellow Dog Creative. We're a full service marketing agency that works exclusively with the skilled trades. Started out as a video production company. That was really our bread and butter. It was what kind of got us to the dance, earned our reputation. And in the last 8 years, we've now added additional services to assist our partners in not just video, but also placement of those videos, planning. We've added graphic design, social media management, reputation management. And we actually have a web designer in-house now that helps us with really custom websites. We do not do digital as far as pay-per-click, LSA, that sort of thing. We have incredible partners in that space. But we realized that there were some people that really wanted a custom site. And so we do have someone in-house now that will create a custom site and then pass the baton to one of the, to the camp people to make it their own and do their magic on the back end, but still have a non-templated site.
Videos are so important. And we're both sitting here. We know how important they are, but it's always shocking to me how many home service companies are still not capitalizing on videos.
Yeah, it's obviously the push in the last couple years towards video and stressing the importance of video was music to my ears, obviously, as being the cornerstone of Yellow Dog Creative. But I'll tell you, I do not believe there is another way that a company can make an emotional connection with their clientele, with their customer base, with their potential customers without video. People don't want to read. They don't want to read a bunch of stuff on a website anymore. They don't want to read a trifold. They want to be fed the information in a very easy to understand, very personalized way. And that's what video does,
For sure. So right now, I know you've seen a big change with some of your customers. You've gone from these COVID abundant years where everybody was making, they really didn't even need to do a ton of advertising because there was plenty of work for everybody. But now I think some companies are kind of sitting there looking at some gaping holes in their marketing strategy. What have you noticed with the clients that you guys work with, and how are you working with them to kind of change their messaging right now?
We are focused on making sure that the reputation of being reliable, about being conscientious, I mean, I really think that people have to stress that. There are people out there who are going to buy from a company regardless, right? They're your people. They're going to buy from you. But then you have this whole group of people who want to make sure that they can trust. We are a very untrusting population right now because of the scams, because of all the BS that we've been been exposed to since COVID, and a lot has changed. And so I think making sure that the personal message and the emotional engagement is there, that is the biggest piece, I think, that we're stressing to all of our partners. And also being just a good community steward, right? Like, be involved in your community, give money back. All of those things, I think, play together to put you in a situation that's going to set you apart from the noise, because there's so much noise right now. So I think if you can somehow figure out a way to separate, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be about a lot of money. There's some really low-hanging fruit with the digital world as accessible as it is right now. We just have to make sure that the messages that you're showing to your people that you want to call and become your customer is a message of trustworthiness and loyalty and caring. And I think that is going to be what is going to separate the good from the bad.
If you were going to focus on, a handful of videos that you think are the most important right now for a brand to create, for a home service company to create, what would you suggest right now?
Well, first of all, I think that every single company should have a quote, "our story" video, right? This is basically the video that talks about why they should trust you, why they should use you, how long you've been in the community, your reputation, you're clean, you arrive on time, you're punctual. People don't care about whether you're installing Lennox or Carrier or Tempstar. They don't care. They don't care. They want a nice human that's honest to come to their home and take care of them so they're comfortable. That's what they want. So our story is the perfect way to do that. That video should be 60 seconds or longer, no more than 2 minutes, right? But every website homepage should have an our story. After that, well, first of all, let me just say a good branding video is also a good recruitment video. You don't have to say you're hiring for a branding video to be also a recruitment, right? Because you're building your brand. You're becoming the company of choice in an area. But recruitment videos are powerful, and people want to see and hear people. So they don't want a talking head. They don't want someone telling them why you should use their company. They want to hear your customers. They want to hear Sally that owns the bakery downtown. Why does Sally love your company? They want to talk to Bob and Jean, the elderly couple who has used your company for 20 years because you're always there to help them. And taking those words from actual people, and I'm telling you, don't fake it, because you will get caught. And once you get caught faking it, you never get that back. I don't care if you capture it with your iPhone and you put that on YouTube or on social media. It doesn't have to be lights and camera and action and beautiful scripts. If it is a true human in your community that truly loves, and every company knows who that customer is. Every single company has the customers that leave cookies for their tech. And when the tech's wife is having a baby, they send a baby gift. And I mean, if you want to know who your people are, ask your CSRs and your techs. They'll tell you who their people are. And ask them if they would be so kind as to do a testimonial for you. I believe those are the two things. Number one, you should have on your website is our story, and then those customer real words, big stuff.
That's really good. And I think it can help you really separate yourself from the pack when your competitors aren't really doing this.
Yeah. And I think that with the onset, the private equity and the venture capital movement that has become much more prevalent in the last 5 to 10 years, so many companies think by saying we're locally owned. Yeah, everybody says that, right? Everyone says we're locally owned. So that doesn't really, but I think if you can talk to real people and talk about the fact that, yeah, we see the owner at breakfast every Saturday at brunch, and it's nice to see a friendly face. That's the kind of stuff that means more than just saying locally owned, because everyone says that.
So I think a lot of customers are confused on how to use videos, right? Like, so they have these videos and they create a story and they put it on their website. But what are some of the other ways that you can leverage these videos to gain new clients?
There are many platforms out there. I remember when I started in the world of marketing for the skilled trades, honest to goodness, there was broadcast television, there was cable television, there were billboards, and there was radio. That was it. And I remember the day that Tom Swick, who was the owner of Swick Plumbing that I worked for back in the day, I remember when he said, we have to start making 15-second videos. And I laughed. I'm like, no one will ever buy a 15-second video. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And here I am now making 3-second, 6-second, 10-second, 15-second, right? So you have to look at your budget and you have to determine where you place your video content based on your budget. If you do not have enough money to sit at the table of broadcast television, then don't sit at the table. It's like a poker game. You need a minimum bid to get in the game. And if you don't have a minimum bid, you're just throwing money away. You need to find whatever platform you can utilize, whether it's OTT, which stands for over the top, right? That's your connected television, Hulu, Sling, those sort of things. If you can't afford that, okay, well then let's try a little paid social media ads. Let's try digital ads, YouTube pre-roll, and television, and cable. You just have to make sure whatever platform you're spending your money on, you have enough money in your budget to dominate that platform and make enough and get enough impressions in order for it to be a valuable spend. And that's why people, one of the biggest questions we get, and one of the reasons why we started a media strategy division at Yellow Dog, was because we could make the most incredible videos of all time. And I think Yellow Dog's videos are the most beautiful videos in the space. I'll say that out loud. But at the end of the day, we're dealing with people who still don't know what to do with them. They're trying to run a company. They're wearing 77 hats. They're training their salespeople. They're not marketers. So we launched media strategy so Katie and her team can take that out. They'll say, okay, this is your budget. Forget about broadcast. You're not doing broadcast. Forget about billboards at $17,000 a month. That's your whole budget, or whatever it is. But as far as platforms, there are endless places that video can be utilized at this point. So digital, streaming, social media paid ads, YouTube, on your website, making sure every landing page has content if you can. And we also now are encouraging a lot of our partners to ask their partners like Camp to actually create a video page on their website to house their video library connected to their YouTube channel. So there's a little bit of cross population happening there, but I think it's all working together. And also on your Google My Business platform, make sure that video content's being placed on there. And the thing is, when you work with a video production firm, the one question I want everybody to ask is, do I own this video? If you spend the money to make a video, you should have the availability to use that wherever on any platform. You shouldn't ever pay for a video and have to get special permission to use it on broadcast, or special permission to put it on YouTube, or special permission to put it on your website. You want to have a full licensing, and make sure you ask that question, and don't accept a limited ownership of your video content, because you're going to want to put it everywhere.
I think right now, like even when you do a search for a company, go out and search yourself. What you're going to find is Google is delivering a lot of videos right now that they didn't used to. So they play a big role in your optimization as well, because they're showing up organically. So, there's some companies that are listening right now that I think are really well branded in their spaces, and some that are not. And I think the assumption is that this is really expensive. If I'm going to play in videos, it's going to be really expensive. But what you just brought up is there's so many different options for companies to kind of showcase their video, market it, and some of them, which Google Business Profile, are free.
And social media, right? I mean, and social media paid ads, very inexpensive. Digital marketing, very inexpensive compared to 6 o'clock news on ABC, right? But the thing that people need to realize is that with digital and, with some of these more focused, targeted ads, the best thing is that, the people that are being fed your spot are the people who should be seeing your spot. Sometimes, with video on broadcast, right? It's just, you're throwing out this broad net and you're hoping some eyeballs that need your services or need to hear your message are hearing it. So it's a really smart way to market your company. And everything has a price, right? I mean, you can absolutely get videos for $500, $600, $700, but you can spend $5,000, right? There's a range. And so knowing that you can dip your toe in, like at Yellow Dog, we have a library of videos called Quick Starts. And these are ones that are probably 60% already done, but we may bring the talent in and record a CSR at her computer and we have your logo on the screen. So maybe we only need 2 or 3 shots and she answers the phone saying the company's name, right? So we brand it as much as possible, but they're very low cost and it's a great way to dip your toe in without feeling the overwhelming expense of a 3-day shoot and lights and camera. And I'll tell you, if a video is done well and if it's done properly, it should be evergreen, right? So just consider it. Plan to buy 2 or 3 videos this year. Next year, plan to still have those 2 or 3, but now add 2 or 3 more. Maybe you add a fall tune-up. Maybe you add a spring tune-up. Maybe you add a buy one, get one offer. And you slowly start to grow your library to a situation where you have 40 or 50 videos. And you can just then pick and choose depending on what you need your phone to ring for. But you have to start somewhere. You have to dip your toe in.
Let's talk about educational videos. One of the things Google's really liking right now is, answering questions, being a trusted advisor. So what are some of the thoughts that you can give listeners on creating content that's educational? And I know TikTok's going to be talked about, and I haven't seen too many home service companies doing it well on TikTok, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about A, creating educational videos, and B, is TikTok a good platform for that?
Okay, so we call them explainer videos at Yellow Dog. We call them explainers. And I think they are incredibly valuable for services that are difficult for the consumer to understand. Mini splits, geothermal, generators, pipelining, anything that's new. If you have any sort of like bidets, right? Or any sort of thing. And here's the other thing. Poop is gross. You can't really show a plugged toilet. So explainer videos using graphics or animation is the perfect way. If you want to show like a jetter going through a clogged main line, right? Okay, that's not pretty. That is not something that's romantic and beautiful. So if you do that animated as an explainer, it's a much, much more appealing way to explain. But the other thing, people have no idea what indoor air quality does. They don't know. They have no idea what UV and how that whole thing works. Explaining the process and putting those explainer videos on your website, on those specific pages, is great for SEO, but it's also just a really great spot for your people to go and maybe perhaps get questions answered that they don't even know to ask. Like they don't even know what to ask in some of those things. We also created how-to videos in this past year because this really brilliant woman I know named Megan told me for years I should be doing it. And finally I gave in, and honest to goodness, it was one of the greatest things. Here's the thing. I wanted to do how-to videos. I couldn't wrap my brain around how to do it well for multiple companies and make it affordable. So we came up with a plan and we kind of brainstormed with you and we put together this series. We have 150 how-to videos, every different trade. And when someone signs up for the how-tos, they are under 2 minutes long. And if you're a single trade, of course, they'll all be in your trade. If you're multi-trade, it'll be a mixture. Every other week, you get a how-to video. We put it right onto your YouTube channel for you. And there also should be a place on your website that links that. Again, building content as a how-to expert is really, so now TikTok, right? I will say that this is an area that I know that I need to figure out. I need to figure it out. But I'm not seeing anyone do it well. And I would love the TikTok gods to shine down on me and give me all this wonderful advice, how to do it well. But I know that it's very difficult to target specific demographics right now. It can be a very expensive venture if it isn't done and planned properly. I don't feel like we know enough yet to confidently spend someone's money doing that. But my goal in 2024 is to figure that out because I need to figure that out.
It's kind of this place I avoid right now.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
But I love TikTok. When I'm on there, I love the information you can get. It's fantastic.
I do too. So there's several conferences coming up in 2024 that, Katie and her media strategy team are going to be involved with, just to try to wrap their brain around how to do this and how to bring this service and do it properly, right? Because right now, only the people following you are going to see your content, which is fine. But my question is, for TikTok, the people who are following you are going to use you anyways. They're following you. They know you already. How do you get to the next point where people will just randomly start following you that don't know who you are in a geographic area? Because obviously it doesn't matter if a Utah company is popular in Michigan,
I think on a local level, that's where I think can be difficult. That's where I don't see people shining. But some of the plumbers that I follow are pretty funny.
Hysterical.
It's really funny.
Yes, I love it.
One thing we didn't talk about was leveraging also email marketing is a great way to follow up with our existing customers. And a lot of the times I'll put video in there and they're great.
Embedding video is the best. And again, people don't want to read. And I know that is terrible to say out loud, but it's the truth. People want to click a video and they want to mindlessly watch it and they want to take from it what they want to take from it. It's their user experience, not yours. And you have to give them the opportunity to have the user experience that they want. And I think including video gives that option. If someone wants to read it, they can read it, but you also having a companion video is really a very important step that I think a lot of people are missing in email blasts.
So let's put a bow on this. We have, you have some customers right now that are sitting, their leads are a little bit lower. They're thinking of innovative ways that they can separate themselves from the pack right now. So what are just some key takeaways, which I know you already talked about, that you could say, these are some baby steps to get into video and start leveraging them for your business?
Here's the thing. The biggest takeaway that people need to hear, if you hear one thing that I've said, do not be afraid to get your iPhone out and do it yourself. If COVID gave us anything, if anything positive came out of COVID, it gave us the appreciation for Zoom meetings and jumping on cameras and not having perfect audio and having your camera stutter. And we just got used to it. And we're okay with that. It does not have to be lights and camera and grips and thousands of dollars. Have your techs take their iPhone out the minute they get out of their van and push record as they walk up to the AC condenser on the side of the house. Have them talk. This is a really typical day. I'm heading out. I'm going to do a tune-up on this AC. Let me show you what a typical AC condenser looks like on the outside. Take a video, send that back, put that out there. Like, no one is going to send you to video jail for not having perfect color and sound. I promise you. Call to actions in a video. If you have anybody, and I'm talking literally, like, find someone who's 20, because I promise you they can do this for you. Take a video, that same one that tech just took for you, throw an offer, a call to action, $49 tune-ups this week only, and lay that over the video where he's showing an AC condenser, and throw that up on paid social or on your social media channels. I think people in their mind think it has to be way more complicated than it is.
I totally agree. Great advice. So Nancy, how could someone get in touch with Yellow Dog Creative?
Well, Megan, thank you for asking. Obviously, Nancy at YDC Team. That's my email. You can also go to the Yellow Dog Creative website. It's the one with the yellow jumping dog and all of our pictures. All of our email addresses, all of our phone numbers are all on there. And I say this every single time I am invited to speak. I say this all the time. Nobody ever takes me up on this. It does not cost one penny to pick up the phone and ask a question. You do not have to be a Yellow Dog partner to call me, because I'm a nerd and I love this. Like, this is what I do, right? So if you have a question or some weird thing, like, we work with 200 contractors across North America, there's a chance that someone else has thought about that weird thing. And maybe I can help you, or maybe I can say, oh, that's a great idea. How about you spin it this way? Or, we've had many partners do that. It's been a bust. You might want to think about that. It costs absolutely zero money to pick up the phone and give me a call and say, hey, can I just pick your brain for 45 minutes? I'm passionate about this industry, and I really just want to help people succeed. Whether they're a Yellow Dog partner or not, doesn't matter.
And I will attest, Nancy will absolutely answer any questions you have. And Yellow Dog Creative makes it painless and easy. Something that feels overwhelming, they make the process so easy. And that's what I love about them. And they're great at what they do. So Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Megan. You're the best.
Camp is excited to announce our new quarterly webinar series beginning June 25th. To register and for more information, go to the show notes.
Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to get connected, you can find me at chadmpeterman.com. To see what our team's up to, you can visit petermanbros.com. As always, keep growing out there. I'm thrilled to announce my second book, The Empowerment Project, has hit Amazon and all the bookstores ready for purchase. This book was possible because of the unbelievable team I get to work with every day at Peterman Brothers. I have talked about the importance of empowerment as a key to a company's growth for a long time. Empowerment has been the core to our growth, and we have been able to create something very, very special. I am honored to share our experience and how we have built our people and organization. Grab a copy and let me know what you think.